Hi, I'm Paris, and today is the day the world turned vertical. Read in the news this morning that YouTube has been surpassed. There are more viewers watching videos on another app. Can you guess which one? TikTok, and they're watching their videos like this. Now, apps come and go in popularity, so you might not think this is a very big deal, but really it was kind of an earth-shattering revelation for me because I think there's a fundamental difference between when you're watching things this way and when you're watching things this way, which was further reinforced by after I read that, I thought, oh my gosh, I need to be posting things on TikTok. I have a TikTok account. I think I have 6 posts. The last one was 3 years ago. And so I haven't looked at it. The algorithm really doesn't know me or know what I like. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go on TikTok. I'm going to fire up TikTok and see what it shows me in the feed because I'm very generic. It doesn't know any of my tastes. So I'll see what really is going on for the average person who just pops onto TikTok. And so what sort of things do I see? Well, this guy looks like he's about to climb over and jump off a bridge. Somebody washing their dishes, but there's some funny thing, so it's sort of a meme to it. I'm not sure. This is an ad. No wonder it looked too professional. Okay, and then we get into the scantily clad people. And then, oh, here's a guy with wait for it down to bottom. He's obviously going to fall in the pool. Oh, there he goes. Oh, somebody's surprising their baby. It's a lot like America's Funniest Videos, if you watch that show on Sunday night, with some with a scantily clad, titillating section involved as well. And there's a lot of funny content, humorous memes, and I only know this from hearing my kids snickering in the living room while they're on their phone, holding it in the vertical orientation and flipping through TikToks mostly. Well, my youngest daughter says, no, she only does TikTok on Instagram for whatever that's worth, but they're both holding their phones like this, going through, and the occasional, ha, and then you hear there's a pause, and then they look, well, like I have 2 daughters, one will look over at the other because she just centered that one and then wait for a response and see her, ah, ha, 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 and then okay, and then they're back to scrolling through. Now, this happens even when we're watching TV, which we do, the whole family gets together, we watch TV shows in the living room. It can be hard to all agree on what to watch, but we've found if we just take turns, all right, whatever you want to see, I'll watch for the next hour, we'll all watch that. And so I got to pick a movie this past Labor Day weekend, and I picked Casablanca. I like the movie, but I really wanted my kids to see it. From the 1940s, black and white, Humphrey Bogart, a classic. And started it up, and as my kids say about all the movies I seem to like, from even disaster movies from the 70s, Earthquake and The Towering Inferno, all of those, that they're so slow-paced. And they like the movies of today where there's action, you know, the first 5 minutes of the movie is all super action, and then there's a little bit of story, and then we get back to the action. So it's a lot different, and they have different expectations when they're watching it, but still, Casablanca is so, I think, engrossing, and you get so involved in the characters. But I'm watching, of course, and I look over, and they have their phone. We don't have a rule that you can't go on your phone, so the phones are up, and flipping and waiting to see what sister is. I said, guys, watch the TV. I tell them, you know that expression you hear in shows and people make jokes about, here's looking at you, kid. Well, here's where it actually came from. This is the movie that originated that. And so, you know, they watch that. Sometimes we have to go back because they were on the phone when the line happened that I really like them to see where it came from. But after a half hour or so, all right, that's how they're going to watch this because that's how they watch everything. Even the shows that they pick to have on TV, if it's a hour-long show, apparently it doesn't provide enough mental stimulation to be able to just sit and watch it. You got to have the phone, and you got to have the phone vertical, and so you're kind of keeping one eye on the TV. Now, I don't know. I don't do what they do, so maybe everybody out there does that, and I'm seeming like the odd one, but to me, it seems like if you're going to get involved in a show, you're going to put the book away, put the phone away, and you get into the TV show. But I guess they did that more when they were younger, but with the phones, and especially with the entertainment opportunities of Instagram and TikTok, and exactly what it means, I think, when you're watching something in the vertical format on your phone, how it's sort of stimulating your brain in a different way than the thing that you're watching in this format. So here's what it comes down to for me. If you're looking at a photo, if you're looking at a TV show, a movie, it's like this, because when I'm looking at the world here, the world is like this. So there are objects in the foreground that maybe have my focus, but there's all the background. There's all the context to what's going on. And a good photo, a good movie, it tells you a story, both with the foreground characters or objects and the background. There's a story there, and so you take it all in and you feel something, maybe profound, maybe not so profound, but sad or happy or excited or nervous, but you feel something based on the story that you're being exposed to that way. Now, this is my down and dirty summation of how this works, so it's probably an oversimplification, but when you take this scene with all the context and you squish it so that all you have is the central point of focus, the person, the object, whatever it is, context is all gone. So now you have a hyper focus on this, and then because there's no context, you can't really have a 10, 20 minute show or story going on. It's not that interesting to just watch the one thing. Maybe the scantily clad person dancing can hold your attention for a while, but even the time limits on TikTok, which I think they're up to 3 minutes now, but originally it was what, 20, 30 seconds was all it could be? Because that's all you really need. There's no great story to be told there. What you're getting from it is you look at your vertical screen, the hyper focus on the person, and then the little text at the bottom, and you know, oh, they're like one I saw earlier this morning. It was somebody running down saying, oh, look, they have horses, they have horses. Some innocent person going to see the horses, and then at the bottom it says, should we have told her the fence was electrified? I went past, I didn't want to see that, but whether it's a shock, whether it's a laugh, whether it's just some little ping of dopamine that you get from watching it, that's the extent of it. So there's some humorous meme, ha ha ha, and you got your little dopamine hit. And so when your brain gets a dopamine hit, what does it want? Another dopamine, please. So you scroll up and, oh, this one, oh, I know what's going to happen. He's going to fall. Oh, yeah, he did. So you thought that was going to happen. It happened. I guess that's a story, but that's a pretty simple storyline. But you get the dopamine hit from that. And okay, ooh, scantily clad person, dopamine hit. And I talked about this with both my kids today, one while driving her to school, the other one who does college from home, and said, here's what I'm thinking. Is this right or not? And they pretty much confirmed it, that, yeah, that's what they get from Instagram and from TikTok, is just the scrolling through and the little laugh. And then you keep going until you find some other little nugget that gives you that dopamine hit. And my older daughter said the most time she had ever spent on TikTok in one day is 7 hours. And I know people will get pulled into YouTube. They'll search for something and find a video that, find out what they want. But then, oh, look, here's the suggested videos. Well, this looks interesting. And you sort of go down the rabbit hole of finding out about all these things you never knew you wanted to find out about. Sort of like TED Talk style, as opposed to how deep can you dive really into the TikTok themes. So the little vertical video clips really don't require much attention span, which is good because there doesn't seem to be much attention span left to be given to those things. And even for my kids who, they got phones when they started middle school. They didn't have any, they got to play a little on mine when they were in elementary school, but they didn't have any of that beforehand. So when they were little, at least, when we would all watch shows or movies on the TV, they would sit and watch that. Maybe when they were real little, they'd have a book to look through too, but pretty much they would focus their attention. But with the advent of Instagram and TikTok now, they watch the movie, but it's not enough. It doesn't provide enough to captivate them. So in addition to having even a classic movie on, they need to have that phone in vertical position and be going through here to get those dopamine hits so they can sit through an hour and 45-minute movie. A way to look at it is TikTok is the dessert, that little bit of sweet taste that you can enjoy after you've had a nice meal, which YouTube is fairly short, the videos are fairly short as it is, but anything that's in this format that's lengthy and hearty and filling, that's your meal. And then your vertical little dopamine hits, that's your dessert. So why it's such big news that for the first time ever, people are spending more time vertically than horizontally is that they're having the dessert and just skipping the meal altogether. But as I said, maybe I'm just out of touch. Maybe the world has changed and I sort of just missed it till I saw that headline today. I'm right on the cusp of being a baby boomer and Gen Xer. And between that generation and my Gen Z kids, I've got the Gen X, I've got the millennial, so there's quite a difference in our worldview. And you expect it going from generation to generation that the old generation doesn't get it. But what do you think? I'm curious. I know I have viewers of various ages. Do you think that spending most of one's time looking at the world this way rather than this way is a fundamental difference? And do you think it is worse? Do you think it's just a different way of looking at it? I'd really like to hear your thoughts on this, so please comment down below this video, and I'll see you this-a-way on the next review.
There are so many choices and you don't want to stress. You want your health food at home, receiving only the best. That's what we're here for, we give honest reviews. parristx.